Alright, so I just set this one up in our 8,000 square foot shop. Same principle, a little bit different. I went steel to steel, but I've got my air on. I set this one up, actually, I did it to where I put 3 tanks together. So we could just maybe fill it up like once a day. Because really, theoretically, I only have oil from here to here. Because my valve is up above the bottom because I use it for a water separator, which gets out the antifreeze. So I use the drains to get the antifreeze out of the water on all 3 barrels. So I added that this morning, and I made these to where I just made a clip where I could hang them on the first one, and so they're actually removable. I guess I could add another one if I wanted to, but yeah. So they're all manifold together where they come down and they all tie together. And there's your drain valves. And here's my burn bowl, burning away. It's about 60 degrees, 55, maybe 55 out here in Knoxville right now. So we're way premature of cold weather, but just get things ready for this winter. So this fan's off a package unit, a gas package unit, because they're 110 volt. It's the fan that takes out the gas before the unit starts. I forget what it's called, but yeah. And here's what we're burning. We got a little bit of black smoke, not much. This will, when you first start your oil, like I had some really nasty oil because I took it out of our drum over here, which is not supposed to have any antifreeze in it, but so far I've gotten like 5 gallons of antifreeze. My mechanic can't really explain that, so whatever. But it kind of messes up the oil a little bit. So if you get some bad oil, just set that aside, and you can kind of add it in little by little, and it'll burn. But yeah, so I'm doing pretty good. I've got pretty decent oil now in there. Here's the manifold, nothing fancy, just pipes sticking out, rubber loops, and yeah, so all 3 tanks go into there. We used to have just 2 tanks on our old one, which I took back out and took it to the house, took it apart. I'm actually making another one at the house, and I have found that this design with the burn bowl on the bottom is still absolutely the best design. The having no door is, you don't want a door. You fight that all the time. And so what happens is air draws up from the bottom because there's about a 1/2 inch space around the burn bowl. So it actually draws up through the bottom for combustion air. And then it also, with this design here, the smoke doesn't come out here when you're starting it. It actually draws down through here, which is pretty cool. Where the ones with the doors, they smoke kind of real bad until you get them started. So I think still this is the best design. So this is what I'm going to go with from now on. So you can do this horizontally, or you can do it straight up. You can do it horizontally, you know, if you want. I've made a couple horizontals. I've actually sold those. Those are pretty cool too. You can see them on my YouTube channel. But either way, horizontal or straight up, this is definitely by far, once you get it down, it's the easiest and quickest to make. You cut a hole in the top, prevent this extra pipe right here. This was I tried to use this burn tank as to burn plastic, which is basically oil. I was gonna try to get it to where you could burn plastic and heat your place and cook, but I could never get the plastic hot enough. So that's why that extra stack is on there. But yeah, so basically just cut your stack, which is a 6-inch pipe sticking out. This is 8-inch over it. You don't even have to seal this right here. It draws air. Cut your tube in to where it just goes into your burn bowl, maybe a couple inches. And you can kind of play this. You can lay this out on the ground and draw it out and figure out where your hole is right here. I've actually made a template now that I can cut those and I don't have to do a lot of welding. On this one, you could actually weld a, I mean not weld, but you probably could put a T on here, a PVC-T, but it's pretty close to here on this one. But I've got a fan that I usually leave blowing on this anyways to blow the heat around the shop. So, you know, there's a couple different ways to do this. This is probably maybe the safest way, where you don't have to worry about the PVC melting, but it is an additional T you have to cut in, which, you know, I mean, you can do that. And then I've got my outlet where my oil comes in. So this oil outlet could have been way down here, so which puts all these tanks lower, so you're not having to you know, raise the buckets up and fill them as hard. But this right here is I mean, it's fine, it's not really too high, but you could literally raise these lower these fill buckets probably by about 6 inches if you bring your thing down here. So you could just bring it around and loop it over and then come over. So there's a lot of different ways to do it. I always try to get these as low as you can when you're making these, but as long as they're not much higher than what they are right now, you're fine. And I guess if you wanted to, you could have a big oil tank that you hook up, raise it up, put it on legs, and then just feed it over here with a valve, and you don't have to keep filling these up. So, I mean, there's a lot of different ways to do this. Just depends upon what you want to do. I'm actually going to add a little more air to this burner. That's one cool thing about this valve, which you always want to have a valve on here, so you can adjust your air, you can adjust your oil. I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do. You can kind of see if it's got too much air. You can throttle it down. It doesn't hurt the fan. The fan doesn't really care. But you can, here's how much oil is going in. So, you know, you can play with it. This one's got a little bit of a rattle because this fan's out of balance. So I put a rubber coupler here, just kind of eliminate the vibration, but still vibrating a little bit. I had another one that I got from my plumber, but it stopped working after he let it run for about 5 minutes. So he's trying to get me some more when he gets one in. But yeah, this is it. So I don't know if we'll play with it through the winter, see if we can add more oil, or this is going to be good enough for what we want to do. We can just kind of leave this running all day long on a cold day. And so to shut this down, you just turn your oil off, obviously, and you can literally shut your fan off, because this right here, air will suck down through for combustion, and it'll burn the rest of the oil out, keep it burning. So these are pretty easy to shut down as well. So not too much to it. So again, you can see the burn bowl pretty much red hot. You can see the flames. Eventually I'm going to make probably a scoop that I can lower that burn bowl and pull it out, because you have to lower it to pull it out, so you have to take that stud out of there, lower it. Eventually I'm going to make a scoop that actually goes under it, and then it'll push it in and then raise it up. That way it's all no big hassle. I just haven't got around to it. That's probably my last little thing. It'll be like a fork that goes up under it and raises it up once you get it in there, and then the weight of the fork will actually hold it up, and you could put something across it, whatever. That'll be my next experiment, just, you know, just for ease of operation. But yeah, because right now you got to get on your knees to take that off. Anyways, hope that helps. You guys have a good day. See ya.